morning, traders, and welcome back to Framework Fortune, and welcome if you're new. So let's get into what is happening. CPLX, after it cracked yesterday, ended up selling off, and that's why I wanted to have that tight stop loss, just because the markets are so volatile. But PLX is done. Let me go through my list here, mark some things off. GGPI, nothing. PLX, nothing. NQ dumping right here at market open, it looks like. Oh gosh. So getting heavily rejected off of the downtrend at the moment. So if the NQ cannot get back over 15,000, we're going to see another pullback in the market. So we need to be very aware of that. This is, oops, this is the hour chart. Yeah, that was a 5-minute candle on that dump. That's a decent sized little dump. Okay. We'll have to keep an eye on the market. On the hour double top against that trend line, that downtrend. Let's see, how's Twitter? See, Twitter is still barely moving. You know, it's moved up like $5 since yesterday. That's what I'm saying. I really wasn't that interested in it because the amount of capital it takes, you know, it's just not going to move that fast, more than likely. So I'm not even going to watch Twitter. I don't care about Twitter. RCAT, that gave up, did nothing. Take Baba off. AMC's looking ugly. That's normal. I'll take that off. So right now, I don't have anything on my watch list for today. So let's take a look around, see what we got. All right, SBFM. Let me go into the daily chart here. It is above the 200, but that's a pretty big gap up. That's a $4 gap. Why? Okay. Oh boy, here we go. So, Sunshine Biopharma's new designed mRNA molecules effective against multi-drug resistant cancer cells. This is something that I was talking about before COVID with CRISPR Therapeutics. They were working on these gene editing treatments, and that's what this is. It's another mRNA is basically effectively gene editing. So CRISPR Therapeutics has already been working on this for cancer. The question is, I've never heard of Sunshine Biopharm. It was up to $18 at one point. And is this a legitimate company? 7 million in shares. We'll put it on watch, but it's a little high up there for me right now, and I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Okay, we got Archon. No. Well, there's a little news. What does this say? The co-founder raised his stake in the company to 50%. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, because if he wanted to drop that 50%, got a double top here, and it's below 200. I don't want nothing to do with it. GFI under the 200. LGVN, that might be a possible play, as that ripped really hard last week, popping up on the scanners above all moving averages, so very bullish. Just needs to break this little downtrend it has. I actually don't mind this. This may be the play I go for. There's our little channel. So the break up out of that channel would signal a direction reversal, trend reversal. Let's look at the mid float. CDDL, I don't like that. On the 200 SST, that is already ripped. Jesus, that already ripped almost double price on 81 million shares. On what? Okay, so they had record earnings. Or maybe not record earnings, but higher Q4 earnings. But that's already kind of ripped today. It does have an amazing uptrend. It's just way off of the uptrend now. Because the uptrend's right there on the daily, so come all the way back down to 18. We'll keep an eye on it just because it did rip really hard. I mean, that's if that $20 stock that could rip $10, I'm interested. All right. Nothing there. Let's see. We already got SBFM up on the watch list. ALGG. This is a relatively new IPO. Let's see, what did it move there? Well, that moved about $3 so far today. It's a higher float, 265 million shares, but it's moving dollars, so we'll see. We'll see what it does. NRGV, barely has any volume. Rest of this, BBLG, no volume whatsoever. Interesting daily chart though. 10 million shares. I'm gonna put BBLG on watch for this week. It's not getting any volume at all. It is low float, and if it does get volume and could break 3, this 200 day is all the way up at 1163. There's a little bit of resistance there. It showed some pops previously. Multiple times though, giving back gains. You can see that gap up gave it all back. These two rips gave it all back. This is the only rip where it didn't give it all back. It gave about 40%. I'm just going to keep it on watch. It's real low float. I don't think it's going to be a play today. And it may not be a play at all, but just because it looks interesting. ASRT. That's been on a decent little uptrend, but it's a lot of healthcare stocks that are up right now. I think I looked at SST is already up there. RUS. Whoa, THCA. Oh no, that just looks volatile, but that's only a $2 range on a $10 stock. Okay, I'm leaning towards LVGN. After seeing the whole market, seeing everything else, I believe this is where I may look to take a trade at, but I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to wait it out a little bit. Let me go into a smaller time frame. We are getting rejected at the uptrend so far, but this would be the start of the new uptrend if we do break over right here. It's starting to push right now. This nice little triangle. Come on, give me a little bit better of an entry. Going in a 5-minute here and wait for the entry I want. Because I really don't want to buy into the resistance in case it doesn't break. Because if you buy into that resistance and this sloping channel's down here, you know, it could drop all the way back down to 1096. But I like it just like there's this little space left right there in the triangle. If I could see it come down just a little bit, like 13. You know what? I'm just gonna do some. Pull my level 2 up. Look like see that 5-minute candle's opening up. I'm gonna go ahead and go 5 shares. It's gonna test 1350 here. I'd like to get a little bit more. I don't wanna if it gets rejected at 1350, it's looking pretty bullish though. What's up, Orlando? Austin, you had a nice trade on DDL today. Nice job, buddy. DDL, is that not on my list? It's DDL. Yeah, it's actually giving a little bit of consolidation on this 5-minute little flag pattern here. Trying to possibly make another leg up if it can break 7 there. There we go. LGVN pulling back a little bit. Yeah, come on back down here a little bit. I'm gonna add one more share right there. Bringing my average down. Yeah, come on, pull down a little bit more. Let's see. Where's that? 1386. That's gonna be our main. Well, $14 is gonna be main resistance, and then we should have clear selling up to 15. But we gotta confirm this little short-term breakout. Oops, back on LGV in here. Got a couple minutes on this 5-minute candle to close. If it holds right here where it's at, if this candle closes right where it's at, we open up, in the same area, I would say we'll probably see a little pop. It's not wanting to drop below that 1330 area. There we go. There we go. There's a little bit more of a pullback. That's what I was looking for. Come back down to 13. Actually, 1325 starting to build as support. It cracked below it for half a second, but it's battling for it. Let's see, it's on the ask now. Let's see what the bid or the ask side stacks up. Got 30 seconds on this candle. I'm gonna grab one more. Average myself down a little bit more. Just because it's showing that it wants to hold 1325 here. Let's see. 1325 is on the ass. Let's see how quick, if it stacks there or if we get bids right back up to it. Yeah, right back through it. There's very little selling at 1325. So right here, this 5-minute candle, we start pushing up. We push over 1340. Well, I'd go ahead and say 1350. If we can break 1350 on this candle, we should be good to go here. Now, if it doesn't hold 1325, it could pull back, like I said, to 13 right on this trend line. Good evening, Lori. Ooh, that's a nice little pop. Let me get... Oh. Add a little more. Starting to already pop back up. Very close. Oh, we're testing hard here. Still selling. That's really not that much selling pressure. Looking at the selling volume. And we're testing 1350 right now. Let's see if we can... Wow, there's not that much selling at 1350 on the level 2, but that doesn't mean it's not there. See a little rejection. Second test getting rejected at 1350. This is looking good for a break. Bam. Right as I was saying it. There we go. Let's go. Okay. We are breaking the overall sloping channel at the moment. Continuing up this new uptrend. Up to 1370. Let's go, baby. Let's go. 1375. Let's get funky. Let's get frisky and funky. How you feeling today, LGVN? Either way, even if you just caught that little entry there, and I got in, I averaged about 1339 so far. This is a 50-cent move. We're still pushing up. We're probably going to go ahead and hit 14 if 1375 starts to hold support. Increasing buying volume. Oh, very nice. We held 1375 very hard. Very strong. 1380 bids are stacking. Let's see. There we go. Come on up here to 14. Let's see it. Where you at, sweet pea? So we're running into some resistance at 1390 here on the level 2. Not a lot though. Again, not showing a lot of selling pressure at all. Okay, little pullback to 1375. Let's see if it holds. Yep, it held that time. Beautiful. Still holding. Beautiful. Beautiful. There's the pop over 1390. Little wick up there. Let's see if we can get 1390 is holding as the bids. Yep, 1390 on the bid. They're trying to stack. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. There you go. There's one more. Come on. Keep stacking. A little selling at 1395. Not a lot, though, again. Can we get this break of 14? Hard rejection there. Pushed us all the way back down through 1375. I'm going to blow this chart up a little bit more. We got 5 minutes on this new 5-minute candle. And we may not be able to break 14 right away. May have to consolidate. Maybe another little pullback red candle like this. But 1375 still holding. As long as that's holding, we could rip at any time here. We could break 14. 15 cents is not that, or 25 cents is not much for this. As this one candle was 80 cents. This candle about 60 cents. So 25-cent pop up to that 14 is not much more. Thank you, Lori. Austin, sorry. Sorry, Austin. What's up? Stocks and Chops. Good morning. No, I didn't do anything special to find this play either. I mean, LVG or LGV had a rip last week, but I just went through, all my scanners and my watch list and narrowed it down to a few of them, and LGVN just looked the best. Whether it's going to keep ripping or not. Again, like I said, we got to get over 14 here. Break at 14, we're clear all the way up to 15. Oh yeah, yeah, we're clear up to 15 if it can break. $13.22 right there. $13.43. Trying to weigh out where I want to put my stop loss, because at this point I do not want to take a loss. Even if it ends up being a little green, it's still better than red. $13.75 starting to hold up again. And we're back into the 80s, back into the 90s. All right, here we go. I think we may get some frisk. My nipples are starting to perk up. Can you break that 14? I think you can. I think you got it in you, LGVN. I think you want to go to 15. And then you want to stop for the day. We're approaching. Very nice, very nice. Come on, very nice. Little selling at 14. Let's see if the buy-in comes in here and blasts this thing up. Come on. Yeah, right over 14. Wow, I'm surprised there's just not a lot of selling ahead of this so far at all. This thing's just blowing through resistance lines like it's nothing. Hold on just a second, guys. I'm dying. I'm still trying to get over the sickness. I thought I was muting my mic. Sorry. Oh, another rejection off of 14. Just got to see 14 hold as support now. And there comes the 14 bid stacking back over it. We run up to 14.23. Now, I don't see much resistance there. It does have a lot of momentum so far. You were right about that, Robert. Yeah. We're holding over 14 real good now. We should move on up to 15 at this point. Let me see. Let me see how we're looking on the 15-minute and then the hour chart. Oh, yes, that hour chart looks very nice. Still having some rejection at 14, though. I don't like that. See, both of those 15-minute candles flat on tops of the bodies right there at 14. So that first strip was nice. Nice blow right through resistance, but sellers are sitting in this area. And more than likely, because they're sitting right here at 14, they're probably going to see a little bit more resistance than I'm thinking, up to 15, maybe. So try to, well, right back over 14 again. Yeah, so we're just playing at 14 at the moment. I think that's going to hold up. We've held up 14 like 5 times now, so okay, still holding. May not accidentally click on things. Nice, Sicilian. Very nice job. That's what I like to hear. This is easy money, too. You know, this is easy uptrend. There wasn't much else going on again. You know, there's a few plays moving around a little bit, but this thing, you know, hadn't ripped yet. It was looking like it was ready for a break of this nice channel. The sloping channel. Nice direction break. And we're going to doji right here. It looks like on 14. Bids trying to hold. We got a few stacked there. Oh, they just got taken out. Fell in the hold 14 again. I'm gonna put a stop loss in. Well, you're getting really close to where I was gonna put it in at. Let's see if it can hold up here. It may have to come back down to the trend line and bounce. I'm still holding 1375. Yeah, I'm just going to put my stop loss in right under 360, which is the wick, the last wick of the previous candle right there. Because if this pulls all the way back down and goes below that, then It's going to have to come back to the trend line. And I don't want to take a loss when I'm already up. I mean, it's not a huge trade, but still, as I always say, any green is better than any red. Yeah, you can see this curl on the 5 minute. We're very close to. Actually, you know what? Because this isn't that big of a position in the first place, is to come back. The trend line at this point is right near my entry. I'm gonna put a stop loss in. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off. I don't want to get market makered out. It's not really showing any weakness. I mean, we're showing a little weakness here at 14, but that's resistance. So as long as we're testing resistance and not down here testing support, there's no reason for me to make any moves. Not yet, anyway. Let's see. There we go. Pushing back over 14. Push over the bodies of these candles. 1406. We're probably going to rip here. Yep, there it goes. There it goes. Can we break 1425, the top of that previous wick? Can we do it? Yes, we can. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Straight up to 1440 so far. Now, at this point, we do not want to see it back under 14. The bids are trying to stack at 415, so if we can see it start to hold 415, we should get that break of 1425. There's a quick little pop. I don't like, you know, like I said, as long as we're staying above 14, we're all good here. See SBFM. That one has come down quite a bit. Has that same type of slope and channel. So you can play that channel if it can break that. Possibly can move up same as LGVN. The only difference is this thing ripped like super hard already. So more than likely, you know, the 10-day on the hour chart's down at 430. This may not be done dropping. DDL is still trying to pop that triangle. It's giving it a little test, but unable to push for a new high. SST coming all the way back down to 20, around 21, 22. The 10-day is there. This could be one to start keeping an eye on if it starts holding $20 as support. Possibly. You know, that's gonna, as big as that ripped and as much as it's already pulled back, that's gonna be a risky play in the first place. So you're gonna want to be real comfortable with taking those type of plays, because there we go. We're re-breaking 1425 now. Very nice. Very, very nice. I love it when the plan works out. bid starting to stack at 1425. If we hold 1425 as support, well, that was a quick little stack, and they got taken out, pulling back down to 14. So we still are not ripping yet. Do I always use the 5-day? No. I use it for entries and exits. Most of the time, I use the 15 and the 1 hour. But I'm just watching the 5 minute on this because we're in a very, very close breakout range. So if the pattern is going to crack down, it is more than likely going to show the crackdown on the smaller time frame first before it really shows. Well, it could show on the higher time frame, but on the hour chart right now, we're like way up here still, just kind of dojing at this 14. We still got a whole lot of time left in that hour candle though. But no, I use the 5 minute mainly just to go in for entries or watching very close at resistance areas. That's pretty much it. Let's see. Someone asked your opinion on shorting HNST. You told him if you see the price over 5, you can short it if you want. That's your risk. He told me short it yesterday for the. What do you mean he shorted it for the 14th? He's holding the short until the 14th. That's his plan. He's gonna hold a short for 9 days. That sounds scary. That makes me cringe. I'm holding a 9-day short position. And volatility like this, poof, it's risky. All right, still holding 14. I'm gonna go back into the 15-minute because I am focusing on that 5-minute a little too much at the moment. Let's look at the 15. Where are we at on the 15? So we got 3 minutes. Yeah, that candle, as long as this candle closes, the body of this candle closes over the top of this one. Basically over 14, we should be good, but it is struggling a little bit still to hold 14. Oops. Alright, anyway. Alright, well, let me look at this crazy play. What did you say it was? Oh, he's gonna short it on the 14th? What does he think is gonna happen on the 14th? That's the question I would ask. Well, why specifically the 14th? He said that was MS or HNST. Let's look at this thing here. I mean, I don't. Without knowing what his plan is, what his planned entries and exits are, and it being the four, I don't like. I have no idea. Like, I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking. Not like I don't know what he's thinking. As it sounds crazy. I just have no idea what he's thinking. I'm looking at this. I see they downgraded it. It missed Q4, but the thing's been downtrending nonstop. If the company's dying, which it could be, it could be shorted. I mean, you've only Here's the thing though. Here's why I'm not a big fan of shorting. LGVN's still over 14 doing its thing, so I'm not worried about it right this second. If you was to short this, whatever his reasoning is, if you was to short this here at $5, right? Let me get a different drawing instead of just like a pen or a brush or something I can use on thinkorswim. This is all nonsense. Alright, let me do this. I'm going to switch over to TradingView because it'll be a lot easier to look at this and write it out with TradingView. Still getting a little rejection there. I'm going to put a stop loss in while I'm looking at this just in case something dramatic happens. I'm going to put it right under 1375. Alright, now let's go over to IMX. Or not IMX. That is IMX, but... Alright, and you said that was HSTN. No, let's see, what was it? Oh, he is shorting it right now. I'm really misunderstanding then the relevance of the April 14th. But anyway, I'll show you this. Let's just do this. If I can find the damn ticker symbol. What is it? HNST. There we go. The Honest Company. Well, I don't like their name. People who say, "Oh, I'm so honest," that kind of. They've named themselves the Honest Company, so it's kind of. You get to, God, Jesus, they've been selling off nonstop. All right. So, if we was to short this, let's say we take the position right here, right? We're taking the, no, that's not well, we can use that line. I want to change the color, though. So, we're taking the short position right here. Now, you can only short this down to 0. So, the best you can get down to is here. Right? You can get down to 0. Not likely going to happen, but could. I don't know much about this company, like I said. But that's your room of profit if you short this. On the flip side, if this thing was to start ripping, of course it's not going to run all the way up to 25K. It's a crazy weekly chart. But if it was starting to run up, why does that look crazier? Hold on. I was trying to show this in a directional kind of easy way to understand, but it's broken it down by pennies. So, okay. This is about $4, right? So we got the $4. $4 profit. That is ugly. To the upside, if this was to rip just up to 20, which probably is not going to happen, but up to 20, that's $16. So the most you can get out of this short is $4 because you can't short it below 0. That's the most profit. just off of it going to 20, it could go up 16. You know, even if it stops at 10, that's still $6. So when you're shorting, if you're shorting something this low, it doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, it is bearish, and if there's a reason why it might drop even more, you could short it, but that direction, even though on this damn chart it looks bigger this way, this is not actually bigger than this line. So that the reason why I don't like shorting is that reason right there, because your profit is going to be below, and if it's a cheap stock or anything like that, there's just not much room for profit, and all your risk is to the upside. So with potential risk of all of this, with a small little profit area of this, just off of that alone, what looks more appealing? What is more appealing? Like, I don't know why he's wanting to even short this, other than, I mean, it's been downtrending, but that's kind of how I look at it. Like, there's always way more room to the upside normally than there is to the downside. Now, if it's the opposite and you have a stock that's way up to the upside and it's got plenty of room, if this was the flip side, then it would make more sense, right? Jessica Company. No, that's good, man. I was just going over shorting just for new people and stuff like that, and just giving my thoughts on it, why I'm not a big shorter. Well, we are having this rejection here. What we need to do is just simply, actually, I'm going to close the stop loss real quick, because we started a new direction change. We can scale this back, this thing back a little bit. Let's go ahead and take that downtrend off. So basically, wait, 1357. Okay, so actually I'm gonna move my stop loss down just a tinch for now. I'm gonna move it. What did I just put it? 13. Yeah, that's fine. Where did I put it again? 1340. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we got a ways to drop to get to 1349. Could happen pretty quickly, but we got some PR. Nothing good out of that PR. Just appointments. Who really cares? Where are we at on the NQ and the SPY? When I started the stream, the NQ was looking rough. Oh yeah, NQ is still looking awful. This is awful. This is nasty. that little downtrend's got to break. Look at this on the daily chart, or the weekly chart. Actually, this is the weekly chart. You can see, I'm going to go ahead and remove that little downtrend. But you can see we had that nice rebound, but since we've come up and approached the downtrend, we are really fighting it. 2 weeks so far. Well, I won't say 2 weeks, because this week's, it's only Tuesday. So a week and 2 days so far of the NQ trying to break the downtrend and failing to do so. It has not been able to stay above 15,000. And that is a lot of room to drop from 15,000 back down to 13,000, possibly even lower. Yeah, that looks. I don't think we're out of this pullback yet. Let's see what is in the news real quick. LGV and still right at 14, so it's all right. Let me see what we got going on in economic news. Okay, nothing there. A big shift is underway for the markets, and old Warren Buffett shareholder letters point to which company will survive, or which companies will survive. I can tell you this: the companies with the money are going to survive. It's pretty simple. It's not that complicated. you got, I mean, you gotta have some reserves. You know, stocks are. Oh God, what is this nonsense? Stocks are rallying because an inverted yield curve says more. Oh my God. Oh my God. My brain. This is a load of crap. This is full on nonsense, this PR right here. Stocks are rallying because inverted yield curve says more about inflation than economic growth. You're telling me that a effing chart for a yield curve is going to tell us more about inflation than economic growth or just economics in general. This is what I talk about. They put inflation on everything else. Consistent with our analysis of the hawkish Fed pivot and incremental increase in credibility. What? What incremental increase in credibility of the Feds? I don't know anybody that is like, oh, all right, this is dumb. This is too dumb. Here's how much a 40-year mortgage would save you each month. Oh my God, what is going on? My brain, one after another here with the stupidness. How much a 40-year mortgage would save you each month versus a 30-year loan. They amortize the interest. So the longer that you're on a mortgage, the more interest you are going to pay. You're not going to save any money. That is nonsense. Treasury yields rise. Use heads of U.S. economic data. Stock futures pull back and investors watch the yield curve in the Ukraine war. Gold little change. Explain that. If the yield curve is so important with inflation, explain why the gold has changed as treasury yields rise. I guarantee whoever said that cannot explain this with this. Inflation and gold are going to be directly correlated. Gold has always been, for thousands of years, a hedge for something. Okay. Dow transport sell-off may be warning of something more than just a macro speed bump. Yeah, you might be right. Oil buoyed by prospect of additional. See, this doesn't make sense either. Our total amount of oil that we export from Russia is like 3%. So that's not a big deal. I don't know why that would even have an effect. Consumers suspect gas price gouging. It's not price gouging. Inflation is through the roof. That's how it works. Oh my goodness. Twitter stock surges again after Tesla chief. Oh, Elon Musk is now on the board of Twitter. Yeah, okay. Alright. I can't. I'm not even going to go through this anymore. It's just so much nonsense. That's what they do, though. They try to make it way more complicated than it is. Yield curves and blah blah blah. The whatever. Inflation is simply, no matter what the entire government and Federal Reserve want to call it, it is simply adding currency to the currency supply. Very simple. If you've got 4 biscuits, right? And those 4 biscuits were worth 1 diamond. Well, you could take a biscuit that would be worth a fourth of a diamond and go buy something else with it, right? But if you bake 10 more biscuits, now you got 14 more biscuits, and those 14 more biscuits, you have a lot more, so the value of your biscuits go down. You're not going to be able to get 4 biscuits for 1 diamond. You're now going to be at 14 biscuits per 1 diamond. So with 14 biscuits and you go to try to buy something else, you're not going to be able to buy the same amount as you was before the inflation of your biscuits. Biscuits and diamond metaphor. Suck on that, Ross Cameron. All right. Let's see here. He says short and cut something in their earnings. He asked me, well, if he's asking where resistance is, he doesn't need to be shorting in the first place. Like if you're asking somebody else where support and resistance is, you shouldn't even be taking a trade yet. So I don't know about that. You might want to just like, I don't know, go give him some prescription meds or something to calm down, because that sounds real crazy. You have biscuits and gravy on Sunday morning? I love biscuits and gravy. Okay. I wouldn't say all that. That Buffett doesn't know anything. I mean, he's Warren Buffett. You know. You don't know him like that? Yeah. I would just tell him that. I would say, bro, if you don't know where the resistance is, you don't need to be trading, especially shorting, because you got to be on margin to short. That's so crazy. Like support and resistance are the basicest principles that you have to know trading, and it's not just stocks; it's anything. Anything that can be charted is going to have support and resistance. You know, it's just floors and walls. Or if it's like a downtrend, a sloping wall, or not floors and walls, not walls, floors and ceilings. And there's houses that have sloped ceilings and sloped floors. So even the slopes like this one, when we're in this slope here, this is still resistance. That's a ceiling, and this is still a floor. Even though it, would be a weird looking house. You get the point. But like if you can't tell support and resistance or draw it out on a chart, you're not ready to take a trade yet. And that's just not me trying to be mean. That is me just trying to help people not get their anuses reamed out by the stock market, because that's what would happen. More than likely. Maybe you get lucky, but I mean, if you don't know support and resistance, how are you going to know where your entries and exits are? You're basically trading like on a treasure map. Like you have no compass or anything. You might as well just be throwing your fishing line out into the forest on the island you're treasure hunting. Like you don't catch any fish in the forest. All right. Biscuits and gravy are priceless, 100%. I agree with that. Snot Rocket Man, loans have higher interest rates is what they're getting at. even okay. So with if that's what they were saying, LGVM very close to cracking. We'll see if it can hold up here. Well, it's still hanging out. It's all right for now. Got my stop loss there, so I'll be in the green regardless. It'll be a small win if it does crack. Let me go back real quick and read that, because if I misunderstood it and they're talking about a 40-year mortgage versus a 30-year loan, most people can't get a 30-year loan for that much money for a house. You've got to have some serious credit to get a loan that big. Let me look at this. But if that is the case, if that's what they're trying to, here you go. Oh, I don't care what. If this is the question, then no, hell no, go to hell. Federal government. Should the federal government start backing mortgages even longer than 30 years? Should the federal government cause a housing crash like they did in 2008? That's the question that they're asking. That is insane. Oh my God, these central bankers and these Federal Reserve guys, like what reality are they in? No, that's insane. No, 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 no. The federal government should stop backing mortgages completely. That's how this nonsense happens. Okay. Here's that one. Let's see. Their 40-year mortgage would save you each month versus a 30-year loan. Okay, let me look at this. No, 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 no. It's still a mortgage. It's a 30-year fixed rate mortgage loan. Same thing. So it's not a different type of loan. It's still a mortgage. It's just a 40-year versus a 30-year. So what I originally said, no, it would cost you way more in interest. There's not going to be an interest difference at all between a 30-year and a 40-year. The interest is going to be about the same. The only difference, what they're trying to get at, which is the hoodoo, it is the complete utter hoodoo of mortgages, is if, let's say for example, you're getting $100,000 mortgage for a house, right? If you go 30 years, your payment monthly is going to be cheaper than your payment monthly for 40 years for the same amount of 100,000, right? That's pretty easy to understand. But that 10-year difference is 10 years more of amortized interest. So while yes, USD terms, you will be paying less money a month, but overall, you're going to pay for 3 houses instead of 1. Like that's how it works already. And with a 40-year, you're probably going to pay 4 houses for the 1 house. So that's LGV and back over 14. Very nice. Just holding. Yeah, look at that. Nice little bounce. Just holding in that sloping channel to the upside. So that's what they're saying. They're just basically saying, hey, it's going to be cheaper a month for your monthly payments if you go a 40-year mortgage that's backed by us, the government, who has no money, who's $30 trillion in debt, who also cannot figure out what day it is, and also cannot figure out, anything. They can't even agree on anything. So, um, yeah, yeah. There is loans and stuff like that for mobile homes, but mobile home loans are normally different. Mobile home loans, well, first off, a mortgage loan, that amortized interest I'm talking about, that type of interest is completely different than a personal loan, a credit card, HELOCs, any of that. mortgages specifically have the amortized interest. And amortized interest, in the easiest way I can explain it, is you're going to pay twice the amount of house if you pay the whole entire term of that mortgage. That's why if you're going to get a mortgage, you want to pay it down fast, or there is the what is it called? There's a name for the method. But anyway, the easy, simple thing to explain it as is if you're going to rent the property out, okay, this is where it gets interesting. This is where you can make money renting properties and why people make so much money doing that. You take the 30-year mortgage out on the property at that fixed rate price, or let's say it's a 40-year or whatever, who cares, 100-year, it doesn't matter with what we're going to be taught, what we're going to do here. You would fix up the bathroom and the kitchen. So hopefully you would find a property that you could put that value in. Just little information for everybody about real estate. If you're planning on flipping houses or renting them, whatever, the most value you can add to a real estate property is going to be kitchen and bathrooms. Redoing a whole bunch of bedrooms, things like that, that's not going to add that much value. But bathrooms and kitchens are the number one thing. So you would redo those, if you got a property that's an investment property, refinance your mortgage to bring to, which in the refinance process, they would do another appraisal, and you would appraise higher than the amount of your current mortgage, what you owe on the house. So let's say the mortgage was for $100,000. You put in the work for the bathroom, the kitchen, and then it goes up after appraisal to $150,000. Well, you would refinance, and when you refinance, you would refinance for the whole amount of the mortgage, up to $150,000. That would clear the other $100,000 mortgage, and then you would pull $50,000 cash out of that mortgage. That would be in your bank account because it's a refinance cash out. So with that $50,000, you rent that house out, take the $50,000 from the refi, and go do the same exact thing with another property. You don't care about the mortgage being 30 years or 40 years because it's not coming out of your pocket. You're renting the property out, so somebody else is paying it. The only thing you're doing is using the bank or government's money to invest in the properties and make them a cash flowing property for yourself. So you're not investing any money from any side, except maybe your initial investment. But there's plenty of loans. If your credit is good enough, there's FHA, conventional, and what's the rural ones? There's another rural one. I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head. But anyway, there's 3 or 4 different types of mortgages where you can put 0% down. So if you can get a mortgage where it's 0% down, you have no money out of pocket, and then you cash out refinance, well, you have now a rented out cash flowing asset, 50,000 grand in your pocket for a whole nother trade or for a whole nother investment, and you haven't put a dime out of your pocket yet. And maybe you have to put some money in for the kitchen and bathroom, or maybe you get a construction loan or something like that. But that is the only way to really hoodoo the mortgage system. But if you're just buying a house straight out for you to live in, you want to pay that thing off as quick as possible. The longer your payments go, the more interest that is going to accrue. And like I said, it is amortized, which basically means it's going to stack a lot quicker than simple interest. Like 4% on a mortgage
is going to be more in the long run than 25% on a credit card or even 10% on a personal loan, because it's two different types of interest that's accrued. It's basic and amortized, and that amortized is the killer. That's the one you got to watch out for. Woo. Let's see. Well, that's a good point. One Life, you made a joke there, um, but that's actually a good point. While inflation is going up, and you borrowed all that USD for the investment of the house, not for just buying your own house. Well, actually, here's the thing: that amortized interest might offset the inflation. So you may not even be able to pay the either, like I said, it's either one of two things. You want to pay your house off quick as possible to get out of that amortized interest, because the faster you pay it off, the less interest is going to have to be paid. Um, so yeah, the inflation may not be enough to offset the amortized interest. Inflation would have to be pretty high, because the way the amortized interest works, I mean, it had to be. It's high right now, technically, but it would have to be quite a bit. Let's see here. You're looking to buy a vacay lot in Detroit. There you go. Exactly. Exactly. Looking to buy a vacant lot in Detroit, getting a builder's loan, that's an option, and then making a part-time Airbnb and a flop house when that exactly. You don't have to be $1 million investor or something to start investing in real estate. That's kind of the point I'm making. Um, okay, the phone vibrated. I just freaked me out there for a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and move my stop loss up again on this guy. Move it right up under that wick, because we're just slow. We're just climbing right up this sloping trend here, the sloping channel. So no reason not to get it. But yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to be a big investor or anything. Like, if you don't want to go out and own 10 properties to cash flow, say you've already got a house, but you're looking for a decent real estate investment, like One Life's talking about. And of course, he's talking about in downtown Detroit at some point. If Detroit was to come back, full blown, from what I'm hearing from One Life, you're also going to get the appreciation value in the house as the whole area goes up in price, because that's what you're saying right now. The price is there 20K to 65K. I don't know what North Corktown is, but I'm assuming that's probably a decent area in there. um, I forgot what I was originally saying. There you go. I think DB was trying to make fun of your name, Rocket Snot Rocket Man, but kind of hard to make fun of that, isn't it? You already made fun of it. It's a spoof off of. That's pretty good, Rocket Man. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, 20. You're Metro Detroit, about 20. Well, I've never been in Detroit, so I really don't know what you're talking about. To be honest, One Life, I don't know. I'm sure I know Detroit has a metro, but as far as like envisioning what you're talking about, I just have no clue. But yeah. Oh, that's what I was saying. If you've already got a house, Airbnbs and VRBO properties can cash flow a lot more than basic rental houses. And you can go stay in your Airbnb or VRBO anytime you want. So if you're a person who goes in vacations, you spend probably, I would say average person, I have no idea, but we can look up the stats, but I'm not going to take the time to do that. It doesn't matter to the point of this, but let's say, the average person probably spends 5,000 to 10,000 a year on a vacation, right? The average middle class family or whatever. It's probably about right. 5,000 to 10,000. We'll just say 10,000. Maybe we're looking at the majority of people go on vacation twice a year. So you could pay 10,000 that goes to the hotels and the other VRBOs or whatever every year, or that 10,000 could be a down payment for the same thing I was talking about for a mortgage, and then you could have a place to go and stay anytime you want to for vacation. It's going to save you a ton of money, and then VRBO it out the rest of the year when you're not there, like One Life is talking about, and you're actually going to cash flow probably. Well, it depends on the area. Tourist areas are going to fetch a lot higher price for VRBOs. I would say, just for an example, I was looking in Door County, Wisconsin. Door County is a little peninsula that climbs up into Lake Superior. And I think it's Lake Superior. Where's Lake Michigan on one side? Lake Michigan is on the east coast all the way up to Door County. And I think Superior, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's a peninsula surrounded by a bunch of big lake. If you've ever been to Wisconsin or Michigan, you've seen the Great Lakes. They look like oceans. They don't look like lakes. But Door County is a big tourist place up here, growing tourist place. Prices have been pretty cheap because there's not been a ton to do up there other than fishing, swimming, all of that stuff. So in Door County, I was looking at properties that I could VRBO, and there was some for like 40, 50 grand. Some nice size houses right there in downtown Algoma. That's where I was mainly looking. Algoma, Wisconsin. It's a little town, but a tourist town. Every little town up to that strip of Door County is like that. They're all small tourist towns. Get a ton of traffic during the summer. But it's like 30 to 50,000 for one of those houses, and I could have rented that out for looking at VRBO. The average prices is about $300 a night for about 6 months out of the year up there. So 180 days times 300 a night. That's what, 180, 300. Well, let me just get a calculator. I don't want to get this wrong. That's not a calculator. LGVN coming up to 1450 again for another test here. There's my calculator. Pop open here, calculator. So 180 times 300. 54,000. So your VRB vacation home could be making about 50,000 in Door County about half of the year. So 54,000 is what's coming in. If you're going to buy it new, you say you got a mortgage. Let's say you spend 100,000. So your monthly payments are going to be around 600. Then add in electricity, possibly water, all those type of things. Let's just say 800 a month. So 800 a month. Actually, we'll just make it. We'll make it clear. We'll over exaggerate for Door County. We'll say 1,000 for this house. Let's say it's a big boy. 1,000 times 12 is only 12,000, right? So a year you'd be paying 12,000, but if you are renting that thing out and making the 50,000, let's take another $3,000 out for cleaning expenses and booking service. I think you have to pay a little bit of fees to VRBO or whatever, but if it's a house that's somewhere far away from you where you got to travel, you're going to have to pay for cleaning services. But still, add 3,000 of that, that's 15,000 minus the 50,000, that's 35 grand that your vacation house would be making you versus you paying $10,000 to go on vacation every year. So that is the mind state that I'm constantly trying to push for people, is the way that you use your money, the way that you use your value in this world. You can not use it at all and you're going to struggle, or you can use your value to make more value. Anything you can think of, you can pretty much make money off of it now. So anything I look at, that's what I'm always looking at. How can I make money off of this? How is this going to bring me more revenue, right? Because as I say, it's not all about trying to make humongous trades and getting a big lick all at once. It's about building the framework by building multiple revenue streams. And then once that framework is built, your revenue streams will continue to build the rest of it for you. And then you don't have to work a 9 to 5 or any of that. So it's basically just a perspective. It's a way of looking at money and just things around you in general. And that's why I say every time I go to the grocery store, and I highly recommend everybody do this, when you go grocery shopping, especially right now, pay very close attention to the price changes, the sell tags, and from week to week, you'll be able to see those sales that they put out there, like, oh, this is 3 for $10 right now. Whatever it is, cookies, water, something, doesn't matter. A lot of times, those sales are not actually better. They will actually cost you more money. So also, by doing that, by constantly watching all that stuff when you go to the grocery store, it will give you a good indicator of inflation. Everybody, One Life, Daniel B., everybody who's been following me for a long time, what did I say about a year ago? Bacon inflation. I said, I am already seeing the prices in bacon starting to go up. We are going to have more inflation because I can see it in bacon. And One Life, remember, you played the lean hog futures. And you killed it because the lean hog futures shot up because inflation causes prices of everything to come up. But normally, groceries and food get hit the hardest and first. So you don't need to be an economic specialist to know if inflation is coming. You just got to look at the bacon. And y'all was making fun of me when I was saying that last year. And, grocery inflation is up to 8% since I said that we were going to see more inflation from bacon inflation. So that's the thing, like, my main goal for everybody, besides the Framework Fortune blockchain project and all that, but my main goal with Framework Fortune in general is just to help people see, change the way that they were born and raised to think, because I went through the same thing. I was born and raised, go to college, get a 40-hour-a-week good paying job, get you a house, get you a wife, get you 2, 3 cars, get you a pool, get all of that, right? That shit costs a lot of money, you know. And then they're like have some kids. Those things cost a lot of money. College degrees the last 20 years have skyrocketed. Those cost a lot of money. All those things that we were born and raised to do, we are psychologically trained. You don't even think about it. To spend money. You wake up in the morning, your phone goes off, your blanket's on you, your pillow's behind your head, your nightgown is on, or your night, whatever you wear. I wear nightgowns myself personally. It gives me nice breathing room. So anyway, let's just ignore that. But the idea is, when you wake up in the morning, look around you and look at all the money that you have spent just to be awake, and all the money you are spending during the day from the moment you wake up throughout the day that you are spending without even thinking about, like brushing your teeth. I'm saying not brush your teeth, but most of us don't even think about it. We just automatically brush our teeth. We always have toothpaste and toothbrushes there without even thinking about it. You go to the store, toothpaste, gotta have that. Same thing. Prescription medicines, you gotta have those medicines in the morning. Gotta take those. They cost money. Every little single thing costs money. It costs to be alive. So if you can change your perspective from don't spend all the money, figure out how to get on the other side, because all the people spending all that money are sending that money somewhere else. So you don't want to be over here with the mass amount of blind, manipulated spenders and consumers. You want to be on this side where their money is going to. You want to be on the educated, economic, trading, all that stuff, educated on all that, and be the other side who is receiving all the money. Right. So, I'm not saying stop spending money on toothpaste and things like that, of course. That's ridiculous. Not saying that. All I'm saying is think about that every time you wake up in the morning, how much money it costs you just to wake up and be alive. Let's see. Lions. I don't know what that's got to be. Springwell and 75. Lafayette, I don't know anything about that. It's a moo kind of gal. It's not Rocket, you're a Canadian mutt. That's not bad. Sorry. I figured I'd get a little bit of enjoyment out of giving y'all that image of me in a nightgown. You saw a pork butt for $34. Now listen, just because grocery inflation is high in general doesn't mean that there's not deals and sales to be found. I just got ribeyes the other day that were on sale for like $7 a piece, Black Angus ribeyes. So if you pay attention, you definitely can find some deals right now that is not completely inflated prices, but the majority of the groceries are inflated. This is not a question. They came out with the numbers and it was at 8%. So, just because there's a couple of items that aren't that high priced now doesn't mean that there's no grocery inflation, right? You can clearly see it. Everybody is complaining about how much it costs for groceries right now on social media. While they're not complaining about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. But, I think we're about done with that cycle. We're moving on to a news cycle now of mainstream media news to distract everybody. All right. Anyway, believe that is enough for me, out of me today. Look at that. Perfect little, starting to break that channel, but it is not pushing up. It's still pushing down. So when you see that channel break, you'd want to see it continue up. Because at this point, even though, well, it's just kind of it's broken out of the downtrend at this point. So really all you're getting is consolidation. And this consolidation, until it decides if it wants to go up or down, you really have no idea which way it's going to go. Looking at it right now, I have no idea. The LGVN still doing its thing. I'm just going to continue to hold LGVN as long as it continues to stay in this channel. If it never gets out of this channel, then I'll be holding it all day. So that's it for me today. I'm going to get on out of here, get to working on a few things. I'll be back on the crypto channel a little bit later for some live Gods Unchained, P2E gaming, earning some money to play a game, because why not? But appreciate everybody joining me as always. If you haven't yet, go check out frameworkfortune.com. Whole lot of stuff coming on the website, stuff already on the website. We are not stopping. We are about to take over. Major breakthroughs happening with the Framework Fortune blockchain project as well. So stay tuned. Oh, only 4 likes? Come on! Alright, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Till next time.
This is war with the enemy. Think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me. I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally.